In this video, I'm gonna share how and why I've stuck with the same wallet for more than 3 years now, and you'll also get a peek of what's inside, which covers all the basic essentials that you need to manage your money. What's up guys, it's Nick. Welcome back to my channel where I empower you to take on adulting like a boss. So we are gonna talk about this small thing that has been with me for more than 3 years now, and honestly, we've been through a lot, we've stuck together, and this is still staying strong. I used to be that person that would change up their wallets a lot, like from the really big ones to the small card holders, but this is the perfect size that I've found. You know what I realized? Sometimes our wallet also carries heavy baggage. It takes up space in our bag, and you realize that half of what's inside is stuff that you actually don't need. So the great thing that I love about this wallet is that it kind of acts like a card holder, but it also has a purse inside which has all of my cash. Before, I thought I could survive just having a card holder, but sometimes they're just loose coins, or you end up with so many bills that you want to make sure that they're all kept properly and you're not struggling to get your bills out of it. If you want to know how my previous card holder looked like, it's actually in my what's in my bag video around more than 3 years ago, and I actually have the same top. It's so funny, but I had shorter hair. So this one is just the perfect size. That's why I've stuck with it, and I like that it's so durable. So the brand is from Lacoste, but just so you know, I bought this when it was on sale, okay? Because as you can see, I kind of gotten my ROI from it for more than 3 years now using the same wallet. It has not peeled whatsoever. Hindi siya yung namamalat. Like, I hate that about leather. I guess the only thing that I think is the wear and tear is if you see the Lacoste symbol there, it wasn't that color before. It used to be all black, so eventually, like, the paint of it probably worn off. And then probably one more thing is that the zipper thingy, it kind of became a bit rusty already, but nothing that bothered me or nothing that really affected how you can close and zip it up. So like, why change it? So for me, if nothing's broken, why fix it? Why change it? So trust me when I say that this size really covers all the essentials that I have needed as a working adult. So let me go through it right now. Okay, so the front part, I love that it has these card holder areas. It covers 2 of my most used cards. So one is my payroll, which is from Security Bank. This one is my BPI credit card. Obviously, I'm not gonna show you, but just so you know, that's inside. And there's also another pocket in here, so you can hold more cards inside this small area without it being bulky, which I like. Inside, I have another BPI credit card because, as I mentioned before, I need to have 2 credit cards, so I have 2 billing dates, so I get to split my expenses on a monthly basis in 2 cutoffs, which is mid-month and end of the month. So if you're curious, I have that video wherein how I manage my expenses through my credit card, so that's why I have 2. And it's so funny, I have like a Shakey's card because I love their pizza. Hawaiian pizza is my favorite. So you know you're an adult when you have an SM Advantage card. You know when you would go to the groceries and you're with your mom and she always had an SM Advantage card. Now that I do my own groceries, I need to have my own SM Advantage card to take advantage of those points. I do usually go to the groceries and SM, or I also bought most of like my furniture, decorations from SM Home. So that's why it's always inside my wallet. So I have the card inserts over here, and then when you flip it to the other side, it has more card holders, which I love. And this back area has my most important identification cards, wherein if someone asks me like if I'm a legit person, if I am, who I say I am, it's easy for me to pull out. If I would suggest for you to get any government ID, I would tell you to get the Unified Multi-Purpose ID. It took me like 3 months to get it, but it's definitely worth it. It doesn't have an expiry date. Every establishment accepts it as like legit, and it's a government card. This is my alternative to my passport or having a driver's license, because number one, I don't want to bring my passport with me everywhere, because I have done that because I don't have a driver's license, because I don't want to drive, because I'm lazy to drive. Okay, I just never learned how to drive, don't judge me, but this was my solution, so you're welcome. And then I also have here my police clearance identification card. When I got my police clearance, I also got an ID because it's also considered as an official government ID. There are just certain scenarios where I swear I say to myself like, good thing I always have my ID because it would be so much more inconvenient if I left it at home and stuff like that. And then I have another card insert thingy here, which is the same as the previous one I showed you. So here I have 3 more cards inside, which are not the most used I have. That's why it's inside, and it's also very important because number 1, I have here my MaxiCare health card, which is given by my employer. There were also times where I was planning to go to the hospital and then I couldn't find my health card because, you know, obviously you don't go to the hospital all the time. And then I also have 2 more BPI debit cards. So the one I showed earlier were 2 BPI credit cards, while this one are debit cards. So the reason why I have 2 is because I have 2 accounts. The benefit of having 2 debit cards now, I was able to separate my funds. So one account was for like my emergency fund, while the second card is for my travel fund. So I've been putting aside money for the time when we'll be able to travel again, and I don't want to struggle when that time comes. And I love to travel, I love the experience. I am planning, however, to move my emergency fund to a better account where there's higher interest. I heard about G-Save, so a good friend of mine was able to introduce that concept to me, and I'm planning to move it there because, guys, if your money is stuck in a bank, then it's basically dying there because of inflation rate. So I want to move the big chunk of my emergency fund to a place where there will be interest yearly, and basically my money will be earning by itself. Those are all the cards outside, and then as for the inside, it's very straightforward. I have cash inside. I am actually surprised that I have this much cash because most of the time I don't, because I hate carrying cash with me. I either use my credit card so I can track all of the expenses on a monthly basis, or I use Gcash on my phone for all the transactions. It's just easier for me to go cashless. But when I do have those loose coins and bills, at least I have this area over here. So that is why I've stuck with the same wallet for years, because it has served its purpose. So unless botas-botas na to at mapunit siya, doon lang magpapalit ng wallet. Just make sure that you invest in a good durable wallet. Don't just look for like those cute wallets and then eventually they just peel off, or it's just namamalat na yung leather niya after a few months, because you eventually end up paying more if you keep changing up your wallet. And also, I love the benefit of having a small wallet because whichever bag I use, whether it's big, it's small, it's easy to just drop it in, or sometimes I just have this and my phone and I'm fine. And I know whatever is inside or things that I actually use. It also avoids the tendency of stuffing a lot of things inside your wallet that you don't need. If you guys are curious on how I track my monthly expenses, then I did create like a free guide sheet down below that you can easily download for free, so I can help you guys out in managing your finances. Hopefully that will help you out in making sure that you're on track, you're on top of your financial game. To keep you inspired in your personal finance journey, I have a playlist over here where I talk about all the different ways on managing my money in my 20s, from having an emergency fund, from money mistakes, from best investments I've ever done. So you can check that out, and I will see you there.